Welcome to the Austrian German tutorial. Today we continue our learning series about the topic how to understand Austrians. In this video we're going to learn the most important past tense in Austrian German. After having watched this tutorial, you are able to understand Austrians when they say ich hab gemacht, wir sind gefahren, and so on. Please stay tuned. The learning goal of this video is to know how to build the most important past tense in Austrian German. The Vergangenheit, or perfect tense, is mainly used in spoken form. Now let's take a look at how to build the perfect tense in Austrian German. First of all, we need an auxiliary verb. On the one hand, this can be haben, in dialect haum, in English to have. If you want to know more about the verb to have in Austrian German, please check out this video. On the other hand, the verb sein can be used as well, which is to be in English. I've also produced a video about the verb to be in Austrian German, if you're interested in it. Second, we need the participle zwei, or in English it's also called the third form. There are some different ways how to build it, but we rather keep it simple. We have to put the letters G and E in front of the verb. For instance, machen becomes gemacht, made. Or fliegen becomes geflogen, fly in English. In spoken Austrian German, ge becomes ge. Instead of gemacht, you will come across gemocht. Instead of geflogen, you will hear geflogen. Now we have to answer the question, when do we use haben and when do we use sein? In most cases, we need to take haben. Sein is used when the verb deals with some kind of motion. For example, gehen, go, fahren, drive, fliegen, fly, jump, springen, rennen, run, and so on. Let's take a look at an example with the verb haben. In our case, I have made. In spoken Austrian German, you will come across the following sentences. Ich hab gemacht, du hast gemacht, sie es hat gemacht, wir haben gemacht, es habt's gemacht, sie haben gemacht. Here we can see that just the verb have changes, but the third form doesn't change. Now let's turn to an example with the verb sein. For instance, I have driven. Ich bin gefahren, du bist gefahren, sie es ist gefahren, wir sind gefahren, es seid gefahren, sie sind gefahren. Again, the verb sein changes, but the third form stays constant. Of course, there are many different verbs, so we have to focus on some important ones. First, verbs that are combined with haben. Made, gemacht, gemocht. Seen, gesehen, gesehen. Slept, geschlafen, geschlafen. Read, gelesen, gelesen. Learned, gelernt, gelernt. Additionally, let's take a look at some verbs that are combined with the auxiliary verb sein. Driven, gefahren, gefahren. Flown, geflogen, geflogen. Run, gelaufen, gelaufen. Jumped, gesprungen, gesprungen. Went, gegangen, gegangen. If the verb starts with G, then the G is left out. If you want to say a sentence with a noun, we have to put the noun between the auxiliary verb and the third form. In English, we would use I have learned the words. In Austrian German, we say Ich hab die Wörter gelernt. Du hast die Wörter gelernt. Er, sie, es hat die Wörter gelernt. Wir haben die Wörter gelernt. Es habt die Wörter gelernt. Sie haben die Wörter gelernt. Furthermore, an example with the auxiliary verb sein. In English, it would sound like I have traveled to Rome. In Austrian German, ich bin nach Rom gereist. Du bist nach Rom gereist. Er, sie, es ist nach Rom gereist. Wir sind nach Rom gereist. Es seid nach Rom gereist. Sie sind nach Rom gereist. Summing up, we can say that for the perfect tense in Austrian German, we need either the auxiliary verb haben or sein, and additionally the third form, participle 2, of the verb. Instead of ge, in Austria we often just use ge. The third form stays the same for all pronouns, but the auxiliary verb changes. So much for the most important past tense in Austrian German. Thanks a lot for watching the Austrian German tutorial. See you in the next video. Have a nice day. Auf Wiedersehen.